With this final button click, I complete the last Picross. It's like putting the final piece into the final puzzle. 3, 2, 1. It's a guy riding a horse.
I was not expecting Mario Super Picross, the 1995 Japan-only Super Nintendo game, to be the second review on this channel. But I promise to review every game I've beaten, and welp, I've beaten it. When most people hear Picross, they think sounds Asian-y and probably really complicated. First off, yes, it's Asian. Second off, no, it's actually quite simple. The game will have a square-shaped grid, let's say 5 boxes by 5 boxes. It displays on the side and top how many boxes in each row and column need to be chipped away. So if it says 5 on the side, the entire row can be chipped away. If it says 0 on the top, it means none of those columns can be chipped away and you can put little X's on them. The numbers on the top and side work together with each other to chisel out an image. It is more complex. Some puzzles require more advanced strategies than others, but the game slowly ramps itself up over time so the player can learn these strategies on their own before it is needed. The game reminds me of Solitaire or Minesweeper, as in, yes, it does get complex, but it's still a simple game. After creating a new YouTube channel and overthinking its first video, I was feeling overwhelmed. I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition at the time, and having issues understanding all of its complexities. I wanted to play something simpler for 15 minutes before going to bed, and that's when I remembered. Mario Super Picross was actually made by Ape. This is the same team that made Earthbound, one of my favorite games ever. It's free with Nintendo Switch Online, so I gave it a shot. And what was supposed to be 15 minutes turned into an hour and a half. Mario Super Picross is super addictive, as most puzzles took me around 5 to 10 minutes to solve. So, looking at my list of 10 overly massive games I'm currently playing, I would think, I can do another one. And of course, that one turns into 2 or 3, and then the hours start to pass away. It's not just a casual puzzle game. There's several elements to this game that make it very unique. This is going somewhere, I promise. So let me write these elements down. Structure. The game is not infinite. It has an intentional end. The difficulty is not a setting that has to be adjusted by the player, but one that naturally scales throughout. Simplicity. This is not the gift under the tree. It's the stocking stuffer. It's a cheaper alternative to expensive gaming and is designed to be a fun novelty with the option to dig more into it. Character. This isn't just filling in random squares. Each Picross cuts out a specific drawing of a recognizable object. Well, recognizable as long as you're Japanese, of course. Pressure. There's a 30-minute timer that goes down more and more with each mistake made. I rarely ran out of time, but it was this perfectly sweet amount of pressure that made the game great for me. Note, the game does have a second, equally as large section called Wario's Picross, where there's no timer or mistake penalties, but it really didn't click with me, so it will not be reviewed here. Atmosphere. There's music, design, and sound effects that really lighten up the experience. Control. This is some of the most responsive and best feeling controls ever for Picross. The 4-directional D-pad and having specific buttons to break or mark off squares feels so good to use, and there are several quality of life features like holding down a button in a direction together to break an entire column or row all at once instead of doing each block individually. Tie-in. It's got Mario's face on it, which honestly doesn't add much to the overall experience, but it successfully brands the game as a high-quality AAA experience that Nintendo is known for. The last video game I know of that has all of these elements together was Dr. Luigi for the Wii U back in 2013. The first thought that came into my mind was, wow, casual puzzle games are dead. I had to research into this to see if I was right. The first thing I realized is that smartphones have drastically altered the casual gaming market. The accessibility of smartphones has made the casual puzzle game market massive, and is arguably bigger than the AAA console gaming today. Candy Crush, Wordscapes, Words with Friends are more universally recognized titles than Picross. Although phone gaming arguably shares in a lot of the elements Mario Super Picross has, most of the titles lack in control due to small touchscreens not being as good as a controller. That's whenever I remembered. Several game publishing studios still publish some of the most recognizable puzzle games on consoles today, and they control really well. Puzzle games also thrive in indie spaces, as well as also do a great job nailing atmosphere. I was being stubborn. Yes, all these things are great, but they're still missing that last little bit, the tie-in. That major AAA studio backing of a smaller creative puzzle project. That's when it hit me like a sucker punch. Major studios, like Nintendo themselves, still release smaller casual games, but they don't advertise them as much, making it easy to forget that they exist. So I learned I was completely wrong. Casual puzzle gaming is alive and thriving today and is arguably bigger than ever. Yet, I understand why I felt like this. There's something special about Super Mario's Picross that captures a time before the internet or smartphones. Something that's pure, something that's poetic, yet something that's simple. Each board tells you a story that you create in this isolated, meditative-like experience. But yeah, it's Picross, and it was a nice break from all the stress and the hardcore gaming for me. I give the game a final score of 80 out of 100. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go play Metaphor ReFantasia for a month and stop thinking about YouTube for a while. Peace.